So pretty grim reading, but ultimately unsurprising in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because I think when you consider the context of what has been the state of play for the last couple of years in China's property market, it's a period where Beijing really cracked down on leverage amongst developers, and that drove up the cost of borrowing as well. And then at the same time, you also had a lot of Chinese consumers pulling back from buying properties. But in terms of the numbers, so they were due at the end of March. We didn't get those, with the company essentially blaming its auditor, but it certainly did face a lot of criticism from China's exchanges for the failure here to provide that. But essentially the reports coming through, you can just see that recap in some of the numbers there. But we're looking, when you combine those in aggregate, the revenue minus the total borrowings over the 2-year period, losses of around $81 billion. So yeah, very bleak numbers, and also the first time that we've actually seen full year losses for the developer since it listed back in 2009.
So, Mel, Evergrande's been suspended for trading since, what, March of last year? Does this get us any closer to a resumption?
Yeah, that's certainly the big question. Of course, as you say, that trading halt came through in March of last year. And our Bloomberg intelligence team, for its part, is saying, yes, this could bring us at least a little bit closer to that happening again. But shares were really suspended at a time when we were looking for details of any sort of asset plans that could come through. And we were also looking for details around the debt restructuring proposal as well. And that is really the other part of this, because, yes, you've got perhaps we're closer to shares starting to trade again. But the numbers are also just another data point for offshore bondholders to be looking over, because remember, of course, Evergrande is going through a major debt restructuring proposal, and the plan itself that's already been laid out, but it's asking for offshore creditors to swap their debt for new securities, and they can be tied to either the property services unit, its EV division, or indeed the builder itself.
What's the latest when it comes to the timeline for that restructuring plan then?
Yeah, so Heidi, this also came out in the numbers overnight as well, just some more details around the timeline of this. So we know that Evergrande is looking to hold some key meetings over the later part of this month. So they're looking to meet at the Hong Kong High Court on July 24. They're also looking to have similar meetings in the Cayman Islands on the following day, July 25. But this is going to involve Class A and Class C creditors. And what we understand so far from Evergrande is that investors that are holding Class A bonds, they essentially back the plan, the majority, around 77%, but just 30% or thereabouts of Class C shareholders endorse it, or bondholders endorse it so far, Sherry.